Welcome to the Raw and Real of Real Estate podcast, powered by LPT Realty, Real Estate Reimagined, with your host, the one and only Betsy Tinnervin. On this podcast, we bring you people who share their personal journeys in life, business, and of course, real estate. Get motivated, inspired, and priceless information from entrepreneurs, community leaders, and realtors who are thriving. Now let's get raw and real. Here's Betsy.
Welcome to the LPT Realty All-Star Radio Show. I am your host, Betsy Tinnervin, and we are back again this week with some great guests today. I'm super excited. My three guests are definitely a surprise. I have Mr. Brett Lindbeck.
What's up? What's up? Thanks for having me.
And Brett is an LPT agent. I've actually gotten to know Brett and spend some time with him. The best thing I think about Brett is his energy and his vibe. I think in this business, it's definitely build a relationship first. So we are so glad to have you, Brett.
I appreciate it. I'm stoked to be a part of this group. Betsy's been awesome getting to know you, learn from you. And yeah, we're just ready to get this thing started, man.
So Brett, you are an LPT agent, and I know a little bit about you, but how did you get started in real estate?
Yeah, my background, I'm from here, from Tampa, grew up in the area.
Tampa native.
Love it. Went to Newsom High School. Shout out to the Wolves, baby, out in Lithia.
Yes.
But I got into solar, okay? And so I was even living in California recently doing residential solar, and I got to know and network with a lot of realtors. And in time, I was like, basically, just to put it bluntly, why am I doing solar when I can just do real estate? And they go hand in hand. So I have a lot of knowledge about solar, which is pretty cool because I think more and more, the government's pushing it. There's a 30% tax credit on it. And so more and more, even in Florida, we will see homes with solar. So that as a seller, as a buyer looking for a prospective house, it's good to know.
For sure. And we're not going to give the listeners all the goods because we want them to clearly listen to our entire show. We will talk about some solar things later. And obviously, we also want to send a shout out and prayers to Puerto Rico today with everything they have going on. With the mention of solar. I know that they've really been like off grid and no power and no water. So if everyone can just, say prayers for everybody over there. We are going to move along to Mr. Ty Virgil. How you doing, Ty?
Good. How are you, Betsy? Thanks for having me out here.
Good. So it's funny how it's such a small world in the universe because Ty Virgil is actually from my hometown of Bloomington, Normal. So everyone listening today, I know we have lots of people that listen back home. I appreciate all the support that everyone gives myself and Tampa Bay Investments. And Ty is actually on my direct team. And Ty, tell me a little bit about your infamous history of real estate and how you got in it.
Yeah, so just got in it this past 2 years. Come from a family with a couple different generations of realtors. So when I came down to Tampa, I thought it was a great idea to get into real estate. My father's in home remodeling, and grandma and aunt are in selling it. So
awesome. And who are those people?
Bev Virgil and Tiffany Nord.
And Tiffany Nord and I actually went to high school together.
Yeah.
And so how did you relocate from Bloomington to Tampa? Like, what was the motive? What was the move?
Yeah, so I just graduated high school then, so I was coming down here for school, and then it kind of just fell into it, and then, here we are.
You didn't want to go back to the cold?
No, definitely not want to go back to the cold.
So what school did you go to?
USF.
Awesome. And after USF, you remained, what city are you actually residing in?
Temple Terrace.
Sweet. And have you really liked Tampa? Like, what attracted you to Tampa?
Warm weather and bigger city. I come from a small town, so.
Yeah. And so you have several generations of realtors and agents and people in your family that have been in real estate. So realistically, throughout the construction experience and then all the generations of real estate, you've pretty much been around it your whole life.
Yeah. So it's nothing new that we're seeing now, but.
So did your parents think that you'd actually get into real estate or no?
They did. They just didn't think it was going to be as quick when it first happened, right when I first got licensed. I was still a little young, but now it's.
Yeah.
They just.
What's your college degree in?
business administration and entrepreneurship.
Okay. So I think it's funny, and I think this is a great topic for everybody out there that, a lot of people are interested in becoming an entrepreneur, and I definitely give huge shout outs to you, Ty, for doing that like straight out of college. A lot of people are getting degrees and then they're deciding to apply their degree in other entrepreneurial fashions. Like, what was your motive there?
I just, good question.
Not a 9-to-5 guy?
Not a 9-to-5 guy or corporate guy. I wanted to be my own boss, build my own schedule, kind of just do what I wanted to do. And I like working with people, so I thought it was a great option for me.
I think that your personality says a lot. I think that you and Brett are very similar with just your attitude and your vibe and your professionalism. So we are so happy to have you here today.
Yeah, thanks, Betsy.
Yeah, I was going to say that's similar with me too. Same type story.
Yeah. I know. I scheduled this show for a reason.
I know you did.
I pick my guests wisely.
I love it. No, I knew it was going to be me and my guy over here. So
yeah.
Some young energy
So
in the
Brett,
building.
You went to college where?
University of Florida Gators, baby.
Okay,
Go
and
Gators.
then straight out of school, you.
Yeah, I immediately went into it's a company, but I immediately went into door-to-door sales to learn sales, entrepreneurship, and push myself. And it was a freaking phenomenal experience of growth and learning for me. And I was blessed to have learned from some great mentors that were top of the line in the game at their craft.
Awesome.
In sales.
Awesome.
So transferring that into what I do now, I like it much better what I'm doing now.
Yeah, it's crazy because I do think that it's important, to have like some work ethic and do kind of like work for other people. Like before I got into real estate with my father and I worked in the family business, I did work, for other people. But my son just graduated in May and said to me, listen, if I go to school, this is what I'm going to do. And it was not great things. And so he just jumped into sales as well. And it's actually a real hustle. And he just got his sales sheet yesterday with his commission on it. And he's 19 and he's making $26 an hour. And so shout out to my son, Jalen Tinnervin. Gotta love the factor that he is carrying on the tradition of sales. We have a super special guest here today to join Ty and Brett and I. I've actually worked with her over the last 4 or 5 years. I think it has been now. It is Miss Kelly Baird.
Hi, thank you for having me here. This is real fun and glad to have the opportunity. Excited to... And I know Brett from before too, so it's great to see his face also.
Yeah, it's funny, Kelly, because you're with Choice Home Warranty and you provide a critical process in what we do. The Tampa Bay Investments team, we pride ourselves in the factor that we do provide a home warranty. As you see, all of our transactions come through to every single buyer, and we actually pay for that out of our commission. How did you get into the warranty space? Let's start there.
Wow, that's kind of crazy. So I actually have been in the real estate industry in the Tampa Bay area for 31 years, so a while. Started out as a real estate agent and was approached by a warranty company. So ended up talking to them and being in the business for 13 years with that company. Jumped out, back into real estate, married into a real estate family, raised my kids through that entrepreneurship way. But then some of my former coworkers are on the management team at Choice Home Warranty, and they came to me telling me why this warranty is the best, bar none, above all, and convinced me that I needed to come help them and educate the community about how important it is that they should have a warranty on their property.
And what's funny is I think that people get the warranty very skewed, right? Like I think that people think that the warranty, it's hard to do a claim and all these different things. And honestly, we get a report from Choice of all of the past properties. Like I've forgotten some of the properties that I've sold, and we get a report on a weekly basis from Choice saying all the claims that have been filed. And I have a famous story that I want to talk about today before Kelly goes into what she provides. But I have a story that's pretty cool. I had first-time homebuyers buy a property in Largo. This is a real story. All the listeners can fact check this. Please call Kelly. And literally, they were first-time homebuyers, very cute couple. They bought a property in Largo, and the second day they owned the house, the entire AC shut down. And it was crazy because when we got the property, obviously I offered the free warranty, and they literally got like a $7,500 system for like a $500 deductible. And it was a seamless process. I tell everyone in reference to ACs, and you'll be proud of me, Miss Kelly, because I tell them when you buy the house, you need to service the AC unit because most of the time the AC unit's not serviced. And so if you want the claim to be fulfilled, you need to honor the factor that you're the homeowner, service the mechanical things, just like you'd put oil in your car. You wouldn't take it and blame the warranty if you don't change your oil. So you need to service the AC. But legitimately, they got an entire AC unit, Kelly.
Wow. We do a lot of replacements. And the thing is, you brought up an interesting point because a lot of people do have a kind of a funny taste, or you hear about that as far as warranty goes. And often it's because I like to call it myth busting. We have had, there's consumer plans out on the market. And if a homeowner is just going to Google warranties and do their research on their own, they're not going to get the robust coverage they can get in a real estate plan through you.
Well, we're going to not give them all the secrets, but we are going to go in depth in this show. Please stay tuned for segment 2 into what a warranty covers, what a real estate premium plan is, why it's important to have agents that represent you that work with home warranty companies. So you do not want to miss this. Miss Kelly, if anyone wants to get a hold of you in regards to a warranty, how could they touch base with you?
They absolutely can. They can email me. I'll give you that information. It's Baird, BAIRD at CHWPRO.com. That's usually the best way that I can get a brochure right in their hands.
Perfect. And Mr. Brett, how could someone get a hold of you?
You can look me up on Google, Brett Lindbeck. You'll find all my info there. And I'll tell you what, you get a hold of Kelly, she'll go back to you right away. She's the best in the business.
Perfect.
Thank you.
And Mr. Ty, how can someone get a hold of you?
Best way to get a hold of me is call or text me at 309-532-7932.
We are going to take a quick commercial break, but do not miss segments 2, 3, and 4. There's going to be pertinent information with the raw and the real of real estate. We'll be back.
Have the best comp plans ever and stock and revenue share, but if we're not closing real estate transactions, all of that is worthless because ultimately everything starts with a real estate transaction, which starts with a consumer. And so we wanted to arm our agents with the absolute best technology and best marketing tools to do more real estate. And that's, again, I think a big differentiator. I think very few brokerages really sit down and say, how do we provide tools to make sure that our agents can be more productive, sell more real estate, win more listings, win at more listing appointments, help more buyers find that home, and we're very focused on that. And so while we have the best comp plans and the best ways for agents to generate wealth and earn, we also have the best tools, and more importantly, I would say have the best tools to help you be successful in real estate.
Welcome back to the LPT All-Star Radio show where we talk the raw and real of real estate. I have 3 special guests here today. If you were with us before the break, we have Mr. Brett Lindbeck, Tyler Virgil, and the one and only Kelly Baird with Choice Home Warranty. Brett and Tyler are 2 amazing LPT agents, and they have teamed up with Kelly Baird today to tell everyone out there how they provide sellers insurance warranties and homeowners policy warranties to all of their clients, which is a phenomenal thing for agents to do in this industry. So, Miss Kelly.
Yes, Betsy.
I really want to get into why warranties are important and what they cover. So if we're in a real estate transaction and someone is working with Brett or Tyler and they are providing their buyer that they're representing a home warranty, what does that package look like?
I think the biggest thing is there's a misconception that it's insurance. We are regulated by the Department of Insurance in Florida, and it's a little bit different. Whereas your homeowner's insurance, your flood insurance, that's going to cover like acts of nature and
see, Kelly's calling me out on my verbiage, guys.
No, it's
so I
good.
shouldn't have said seller's insurance. I should have clarified seller's warranties. So I apologize.
You're good, Betsy, because we are regulated by the same department.
Okay, cool.
So so you're fine. I just would like to clarify that what the warranty is going to cover is the unknown of the future. Everything's working good right now, but all of a sudden the air conditioning's not cooling. Or maybe it's Thanksgiving and you're cooking dinner and all of a sudden the stove stops and oh my gosh, you've got the turkey in the oven and you've got potatoes on the stove and you've got 30 people coming over. It's the unknown. It's the normal wear and tear. So just a brief definition is a home warranty in general will cover major systems, which would be electrical and air conditioning, heating, water heater, and then appliances that break down due to normal wear and tear. That's the main thing. You can't just abuse a system and expect it to be covered.
And so I think the cool part is that for everyone who purchases a home, and Brett and Tyler, you guys both know this, is they get a 4-point inspection. So the plumbing, electrical, HVAC, and roof is looked at. And so when that report comes back, that is what is submitted to insurance with the wind mitigation report to get any proper discounts and to make sure that the property is insurable. So that's great for property insurance. But like, what happens, Brett, when you're working with a first-time home buyer and they have spent their savings on a down payment and now they get in a house and their refrigerator or their stove or their HVAC system for some odd reason breaks?
Yeah. No, I mean, the bottom line is, especially as a first-time home buyer, but inflation is crazy right now, and everything costs more and more. Even to get a guy out for labor, is a lot more than it used to be. So when you are buying a home, or even on the sell side, it makes your home way more attractive to that buyer when it comes with Choice Home Warranty, which is why with LPT, every single transaction we do, we have a great partnership with Kelly that we're going to include that. And it's going to make your life a whole lot easier.
Well, it's not just LPT. It's just the Brett and Tyler LPT agency.
There we go. Yeah,
so if you're looking for an agent and you want your warranty, you better call Brett or Tyler.
Give us a call. You know it's right. But yeah.
So basically, I think to touch on that too is like, Kelly, the package, there is different packages, and I would have Kelly email those out to you if you're interested. Definitely contact Brett or Tyler, and they can touch base with you on what those include. But the point that you just touched on, Brett, is really great, because what I really love about Choice, Kelly, is that let's say that Ty over here is working with a snowbird from Illinois, and they are going to buy a second home, right, Ty? I mean, how often do people ask you about that?
More often than you think.
Yeah. They want a second home here. So if they get a Choice Home Warranty package provided by Ty, then they don't have to know any vendors here, which makes it amazing. Because what's the service fee now, Kelly?
It's only $75. So it's basically a pre-negotiated trip charge.
Correct. So if Ty's client buys their second home here, it's their vacation, rental, or their spot that they're going to be visiting, and there's a warranty on the property, then they can be in Illinois, Ty, from their living room and hear that something's broken or there's a situation and literally call one number.
Yes.
Right, Kelly?
Absolutely. We make it super easy. Not only can they just call one number, they can actually place the claim online. They don't even have to talk to anyone. And that's really a quick way to do it.
Man, Kelly is getting me today. Kelly is on top of her A game, man. She's like, Betsy, I need you to correct how you say this, and I'm going to tell you how the easiest way to do it. That's true.
Yeah, whether you're a first-time home buyer or it's an investment property like what you're talking about, it makes 100% sense. You have to have it.
And also, I think the other thing that people don't know is not only could it be a situation like Ty, you selling someone a property from Illinois or anywhere else who wants a second home, people don't know that we also do this, Kelly, and on our duplexes, triplexes, and quads.
Yes, we do cover all the way up to a quad. So if you have rental or income property, you certainly can put a Choice Home Warranty on there.
So let's talk about why this is cool. It's going to be the Betsy breakdown. So the breakdown for investment properties is when you analyze a duplex, triplex, and quad, you have two expense categories. You have a capital improvements expense category, and you also have a monthly maintenance expense category, right? And if you have a policy for maintenance calls on your quadplex, then you could build in an automatic pre-cost, because you know that it's not going to be a plumber that's going to charge you $125 an hour. It's not going to be an appliance technician that has a $50 gas trip charge right now and an extra $100. It's going to be a $75 charge. And so when you do your cash on cash return and your investment analysis on that property and you have a Choice Home Warranty, that the charge is $75.
Yeah, so that's just the beauty of it. People love having the low out-of-pocket cost. And it doesn't, we've emphasized first-time home buyers, but let me tell you, we have a majority of our customers coming in to Florida paying cash. But what happens, you think they have all the money in the world. Well, they might have put all their cash into that investment property or into their home. It may not be their first-time home. And they don't know what's going to happen in the future. And they're not used to the kind of air costs we have, air conditioning and heating systems here, because they haven't had to deal with that.
Yeah, and now, Kelly, I have a listed triplex that Stacy and I with Sugar and Spice Developments renovated. It is 915, 915 and a half, and 917 Martin L. King Avenue in Lakeland, and we are offering a free home warranty to anyone who wants to purchase that. We do have several offers in the works, so please apply. But let's just do cost with that.
That's
Kelly.
terrific. That's
Well, let's
absolutely
do
terrific.
cost. Let's walk through cost, because maybe there's other agents that want to work with you too. What would it cost me to out of my commission to pay for that for a buyer on a triplex?
Well, on the triplex cost, it depends on the plan that they're purchasing. So we have 3 different plans, and I will say that we know your team loves the ultimate, and the ultimate's our best plan.
Wait, what do we love, Kelly?
The ultimate plan.
We pay for the ultimate plan, Ty.
So it's our best plan, and so on a triplex it would be about $660 plus the triplex cost addition on that, so it's another $350.
Okay.
So you're looking at just around $1,000 to get a triplex coverage on a Choice Ultimate plan.
Well, and this property is a 10% cash on cash return, which is pretty cool. And so I think that it's interesting, just kind of throw that out there. How many agents do you have, though, Kelly, that pay for a warranty out of their commission on every sale?
Oh, not many. No, this is a generous gift that Betsy's providing and her team provides. It's amazing. And let me tell you, the buyers do use it. She knows. She gets those claims reports.
How many investor-friendly agents do you have that provide a warranty?
Absolutely not. So that's a rare thing. So you deal with the right people. And honestly, she knows I had to make a lot of arrangements to make it here today, and I was very pleased that Betsy asked me to come get involved, because she truly knows the value of the warranty and how important it is to her customers to make them happy.
Ty, why do you think that our team provides the warranty to our clients?
Which is how the market is right now, and sellers not really giving any seller concessions. I think it's a great opportunity for if there's any mistakes that come up into the property after the buyers move into it. They're spending a lot of the money getting into the property, and I don't think they usually plan for any type of hiccups or mistakes of anything breaking. So I think it's a really good thing to have.
Yeah, right now we're definitely still in our apex market, which we've been for a while, where home prices are rising and rents are rising as well. However, while you're in this seller's market, we cannot get a lot of sellers, which, to be honest, if I was representing a seller, I'd advocate for them on their side as well to do repairs, because they don't have to. It's low inventory. So Ty is 100% correct in the factor that they're not going to do repairs, so we're protecting them by putting something in place. Exactly. Don't miss segment 3. Ty, give everyone your phone number one more time so they can get a hold of you, especially all my snowbirds out there that want to buy a home in Florida. Ty's here to help. How can they call you?
Yeah, anybody in the Tampa Bay area or Chicago, Illinois, 309-532-7932.
And Miss Kelly.
K Baird, BAIRD at CHWPRO.com. And if you are emailing me, please mention that you heard about this on the Betsy Show.
And Mr. Brett Lindbeck.
Yes, ma'am.
What are your digits?
That is 813-410-1956. Don't fret. Call Brett, baby.
This has been a great show so far. Do not miss the 3rd segment of the LPT All-Star Radio Show, brought to you by Mr. Robert Palmer himself. The raw and the real of real estate. More to come. We will catch you after the break.
The biggest win, I think, with the dual path and having these 2 models is that now we become a brokerage for everyone. No matter where you are in your real estate career or what your goals are today, maybe today you're not interested in recruiting or having a team, but then one day you wake up and you are. Well, if you're at the wrong brokerage to do that, you're locked in. Where in our model, we're not holding anyone hostage. We're not tying anyone in. You can move between the different comp plans and have that success and really achieve whatever your definition of success is under one brokerage platform, being LPT.
Welcome back to the LPT All-Star Realty Radio Show. I am your host, Betsy Tinervin, with the Tampa Bay Investments team. And today is like $1 million worth of information jam-packed into 4 segments. So feel free to write LPT a check if you're listening. Mr. Robert Palmer provides it all. We're just kidding, but we do enjoy providing the raw and the real of real estate to all of our listeners, because we do want to bring real information to you if you are looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. And so the cool thing about our show is we feature local businesses. We tell you what's going on in the local Tampa Bay market. We also bring you educated agents who are here to serve you. And I have two of the best today. Yes, I'm sounding totally biased because these guys are true entrepreneurs. They jumped ship from regular corporate America and have dove into real estate, educated themselves. I have Brett Lindbeck.
What is good?
And Ty Virgil.
What's going on?
And we are here with Miss Kelly Baird talking about the importance of a warranty. Two things we have talked about is one, what a realtor policy looks like versus a consumer policy, which again, we provide the ultimate policy. These two realtors on our show today, not everybody, but Brett and Ty definitely do provide free home warranties out of their commission to their buyers at no cost to them. And we've also talked about how you can add a warranty to an investment property, which is a duplex, triplex, or quad, a residential investment, which not a lot of people know about. We're now going to dive deep, really deep into a few things about warranties. One, Kelly, amazing. You literally will cover if Ty or Brett has a buyer and the home is built in 1870. Yes. And the life expectancy of the HVAC system is over with on the report, you guys still cover it.
Yes. So the thing is, we don't have a bias on age. So any age home, any age system, any age appliance, we cover. But they just need to be in proper working order at the start of the term of the contract. And then the failure that you would call us on for a claim has to be due to normal wear and tear.
Okay.
But that's amazing. I mean, that's amazing. A lot of companies don't, and we don't average out or take out or depreciate for age. So that's just a really cool thing. Because like you said, a lot of times people will find on their home inspection report, everything's working good, but it's reached its life expectancy. That's not going to negate it from a choice home warranty.
So what is your biggest piece of advice for buyers? So if they're working with Brett or they're working with Ty, they get this home warranty. What is your best piece of advice to have everything in like good working orders for it to be considered normal wear and tear?
So the first thing would be having a home inspection, because having a home inspection, we don't require it, but it's good for you to know what you're getting into, right? So the only time we might ask for it is if we have maybe a concern, maybe the technician thought it might not have been good in working order. We might ask for it to prove that it was and continue forward with that. So that would be one. First thing, home inspection. Dealing with agents that do understand the home warranties in the first place actually is even of the utmost importance. They understand why it's so good to have. They don't reap any benefit other than making their consumer happy, their customers. So then the other part would be maintenance. You brought that up before. We've had that discussion, is making sure that the systems have been maintained. If the seller hasn't, that's something you need to be aware of. But even if they have, you still have to. I think the kind of the funny thing is people don't understand they have to change their air filter sometimes, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I think that people forget, and Ty, you can definitely relate with this. You know, in Illinois, we don't really service our HVAC systems.
No.
Because we don't use them all the time.
Right.
In Florida, they run 24/7. Oh, yeah. And I think, and I think that because they run 24/7, I know that we do, at least on our team, we give, the homeowners a list of local HVAC vendors. It's usually like $199 a year for a maintenance plan, and they come out every 6 months, and everything's documented, and they give your little system a tune-up.
Yep, that's great.
It is not fun in Florida without HVAC at all.
Well, not only that, you can have the challenge of mold growing. And I had somebody from Pennsylvania that has a second home here that was recently telling me, oh my gosh, they can't believe, that they have to keep their air running. They're not experienced that. And that's exactly what you said, but they need to. And so you would use it more, and you need to change your filter more, and you need to get your coils clean, and definitely do it in the spring before all the heat hits.
Well, and now we're going to play a little trivia game where Brett and Ty are going to quiz Miss Kelly.
Oh, no.
So Brett and Ty, you guys are going to be typical just buyers, and you're going to ask Kelly questions that buyers ask you about the warranty process.
Yeah.
And ready, Brett? Question number 1 to Miss Kelly is?
Yeah, so just a typical question is, the warranty's awesome. I appreciate it, especially even on the sell side, to where a lot of times they'll tell you to fix things up or come out of pocket to get your home listing ready. But with the warranty, it's covered, right?
Oh, so you want to ask her about the seller's warranty?
Well, no, I mean that's fine. I just kind of wanted to throw that out there and just let everybody know. Make sure you're listing your home in the right places. But here's my question on the buy side: is I get a lot. It's like, hey, Brett, that's awesome. I'm glad that you're giving me this free warranty, but what's the process? Like, how do I go about creating a claim? So how does that work?
That's a great question, and it's really fun to answer because as soon as on day of closing, you can actually use the warranty right away. And the nice thing about
the day of closing.
Boom.
And so, boom, right, exactly. And the very first thing I recommend you do is use it for your rekey service that we offer. You can have up to 6 locks rekeyed for the price of the service.
That's fantastic.
Fee. So day of closing, you get used to how this works right away. You can either call us toll free for the claim, or we have a homeowner.
And so I'm sorry, Kelly, the rekey service is going to cost $75?
Correct.
So everyone out there listening, you buy a home with Ty or Brett, and you get your whole house rekeyed up to 6 locks for $75.
Correct, and we provide 4 keys with that. So.
Kelly, we're going to have so many people call you to want to take you on a date after this show. It's going to be insane.
But part of that is it encourages you to use the warranty right away and understand how the claims process works for when you do have the big event happen. For when the air or oven doesn't work, now you're familiar with it. Online access is very simple for the homeowner, and it's actually it's funny. Most people think calling toll free is going to get me quicker service. With us, it's online because it's so easy online. We use a unique dispatch system similar to a rideshare company where we would dispatch, for example, a plumbing claim to the area plumbers, and the first one that could pick up the claim does. So then you're notified of the time window that plumber would be coming out to the property, but you're also given their contact information in the event that you have to change it or make adjustments. And that leads us to having super speedy claims.
I also know, Kelly, I can attest to this because I've worked with you for a long time, and I know that some things, every company has flaws, right? And so we want to be raw and real because that's what we do. I have personally, our account is assigned to you. So even if I have a situation where a claim ticket gets lost or someone doesn't get assigned, I simply email Kelly and she's on top of it. So it's so great. So question number 1 was, what do? You use your service from day one. You can do it online, or you can call the 1-800 number. And Kelly threw out the bonus of you get all your locks rekeyed day one with your policy for $75. Ty, what is question number 2?
Good to know, Kelly. But question number 2 is there going to be a difference in charge compared to a same size 1920s home compared to a newer home that's 2020 with newer appliances?
Wow, what a great question that is also, guys. So as long as it's up to 5,000 square feet, no.
Okay.
Nope.
So up to 5,000 square feet, if Ty has a client with a 1970 HVAC system, $75 service charge, same type of deductible situation. If Brett has a 2015 home, HVAC, same thing.
We're not depreciating.
And we are not discriminating, man. So we can sell South Tampa bungalows, or we can sell new Tampa new builds, and they are all being covered.
Good working order, and the failure has to be to normal wear and tear, and that's what the claim is based on.
Okay, and then just go into just for a second, Kelly, how do they determine the deductible value? Or the value that a consumer would have to pay? Because I know that there was one of my clients that got a gift card for Home Depot or Lowe's for the appliance. So how is that value determined?
So you're asking as far as when the repair or replacement is done. And so that's determined by the diagnosis. So when a tech goes out to the property, they're not told which plan the person has on that property. And we have multiple plans. We have 3 different levels of coverage. And the technician is to give us a neutral, generic, tell us the diagnosis without knowing what's covered or not covered. They report it to our authorization department, which is manned by people that have been in the industry, actual HVAC people, actual plumbers, actual electricians. They determine then, based on the policy, what is covered and what is not, or if there are any out-of-pocket costs. In the real world, people have to understand for $660 worth of coverage, the ultimate plan covers a lot, but it's not going to be roof to slab. It's not going to be bumper to bumper.
When we get back from paying bills after our commercial break, Kelly's going to finish up on the rest of that process and let you know exactly what happens when you file a claim. As I had to just cut her off because we have to pay bills. Ty, Virgil, what is your cell phone number if anyone wants to call you?
Yep, 309 532-7932.
Brett Lindback, give me those digits.
You know it. It's 813-410-1956.
And Miss Kelly Baird, how can we contact you?
K Baird, BAIRD at CHWPRO.com.
And make sure you mention the LPT Realty Radio All-Star Show. Everybody download the iHeartRadio app while you're doing laundry, at the gym, pop in your earbuds. Essential information. The Raw and the Real of Real Estate. We will catch you after the break. Welcome back to the LPT All-Star Realty Radio Show. I am your host, Betsy Tinnervin with Tampa Bay Investments, and today has been phenomenal. Ty Virgil, LPT agent from Illinois, servicing the Tampa Bay area, all the snowbirds, second homes, investment properties. Brett Lindback, Tampa native, who is phenomenal, great attitude, super professional, has experience in solar. They are both here to serve you as LPT agents. And the queen of the hour is Miss Kelly Baird, who is with Choice Home Warranty. We are actually doing a trivia today. Buyers, sellers, and investors out there, we are asking Kelly questions and getting in-depth into home warranties on single-family homes, residential, as well as duplex, triplexes, and quads. And Mr. Brett Lindback, you are up with question number 3.
Love it, Kelly. Again, thank you so much for coming by. So my question is, so my sellers love this home warranty. It included every single home that we list. But Kelly, just let the listeners know what comes with the seller's warranty. Tell us a little bit about it.
So what we focus today on the buyer's coverage, right? And the buyer gets coverage from the day of closing, so they can do that rekey. But the seller has the opportunity to also have coverage during the listing part of that time the home's on the market. That's just a bonus. They can't do it on their own, standalone. They do need to go through the real estate professional, and then that coverage is considered an option to add on to the future buyer's plan.
So basically, if Brett is providing and Ty is providing a seller's coverage while he is listing their home, explain what that covers.
So that covers the items that match what they're offering for the buyer. So if they're offering the ultimate plan for the buyer, the seller actually has the same items that will cover for the buyer. If they're not, if they're offering a different plan, then they would get that. There is a limit to the seller's coverage of a $3,000 maximum in claims, but that's still a heck of a lot that you don't want to spend on a home that you're leaving if you have a potential problem.
Those repairs would come up in the inspection.
They could potentially, yes, as long as they're unknown and everything was in good working order when the seller put the property on the market. So that will be determined by the technician and the inspection. But we do cover a lot of things. Often it's just something as simple as an outlet not working or whatever. And the seller might not be living here, so they don't want to deal with it. And
let me just walk the listeners through this process. So if you're thinking of listing your home and you contact Brett or Ty, they're going to do 2 things. One, they're going to use the amazing LPT Power Pack, which touches 14% of all potential buyers that no other agents can touch, because we have emotional marketing pieces. We have proven things that Robert Palmer has developed when people are listing properties that are 168 pieces of marketing material. On top of that, they are going to offer the buyer a free home warranty, which says, hey, my seller stands by their seller's disclosure. They're for sure in what they have and have not done with their property. And in order to protect the buyer, we're going to offer that. That may be determined on the offer that you provide, but I'm sure with a full price offer, that could be arranged. And with that being said, then they offer you as the seller, Brett Lindback, Ty Virgil, offer you a warranty that will cover up to $3,000 of potential repairs disclosed in the inspection report that the buyer has done that you potentially didn't know about. Correct, Ms. Kelly?
Well, I want to be very generic here because I would rather you see the brochure and see what the coverage is on the seller
100%.
coverage. But yes,
hit us up. We got you on that.
Yes, there's limits and liability with that. But we do have specific details about the seller coverage that I'm happy to share. And
did I say it like majorly right though?
Yes, you did.
Okay, I was trying to give a generic. But I wanted to make sure that
Yes.
that the listeners
But potentially,
were clear.
yes, potentially there's coverage there for covered items that, again, the fail due to normal wear and tear.
Correct.
Not misuse, abuse, and there's a list of other
And
items.
same thing on the seller side. Like I want to mention, we talked a lot about the buyers buying a home and servicing things. Before you list your property, you should have your HVAC system serviced. You should
Absolutely.
make sure that I also love doing pre-listing inspections. I love sending Johnny out with Southern Home Hospitalities that we use and saying, hey, Johnny, can you walk through this property and go ahead and flag a couple things and give the seller an opportunity to make those minor corrections so they can get maximum profit
100%.
on their listing.
Right.
All right, I'm back to my
Great
boy
idea.
Ty now with question number 4.
Thank you, Betsy. Kelly, I always get asked this from my old buyers is, how long does this warranty last? And then what's that renewal process look like?
That's fabulous. So for a buyer at Choice Home Warranty, even a year policy is 13 months. We give an additional month of coverage to every year purchased. And to lock in rates if they're concerned about pricing going up. So your renewal after that 13 months will be based on what the current rates are. But if you wanted to lock in today's rates, they can actually upgrade their policy within 30 days of closing to go as high as 5 years. They can pay that difference from that 13-month policy and purchase as much as 5 years of coverage up front. But yes, they'll get a renewal notice about 90 days before expiration.
And so for everyone to understand, if Tire Brett provides you as a buyer or is listing a property and providing the buyer with a home warranty, they're providing a year taken out of their commission. But at the time of closing, the buyer can upgrade and determine if they want to add on an additional year, which would put them at 2 years, add on 2 years, which would put them at 3 years, and so forth up to 5 years. So it really allows the buyer to place coverage on the home depending on if it is a short-term situation, if it's a lifelong property, if they know their family's going to grow in a couple years. I guess, Kelly, my tricky question would be if there's a warranty on the property and someone sells the property before it expires, what happens?
Wow, I was waiting
Great
for that
question.
one to
Great
come,
question,
and
yeah.
yes, it's transferable.
So it's transferable to
Yep.
the new
Yep.
to the new buyer.
Yep, the
So
any
that's really
balance
cool.
remaining.
If you had a 5-year warranty on your property and you sold it after 2 years, then the listing agent, Brett or Ty, could obviously say, hey, we have a transferable 3-year warranty left.
Correct. And again, with the 5-year policy, they're going to also get an additional 5 months in our current promotion for free.
What is the best home warranty story, Kelly, that you've seen in the industry since you've been in it?
Oh gosh, I don't know about best. I have so many. I mean, this is my 16th year in the home warranty industry, so there's a lot. But I can tell you it happens all the time. I have the homeowner that had the leaking water heater and freaking out and, had nobody else to call because her husband had passed and she was by herself. And, we came to the rescue. She placed the claim, got out there. The water heater that they wanted was on back order. We allowed that tech to go and just purchase one outright at Home Depot and get it in for her. So covered. And every situation's different. And there, I will say there's always out-of-pocket costs potentially with some of the claims. Most companies charge a lot for these items. We have some crazy covered items that most people aren't used to out of pocket. For example, permits. And our best plan that Betsy provides, the ultimate plan, we cover up to $250 in permit fees. So some of these homeowners that would have been surprised that they would have had to pay these amounts don't necessarily have to under a Choice Home Warranty. And I think that's...
I can tell you right now that I know for everyone listening that as far as a warranty on an investment property of basically free rekey that costs you $75 for up to 6 locks when you buy your home, permit fees being covered that are disclosed on a property, I guarantee you that listeners today are going, I didn't know any of the above. Like, I think it's so cool. I think what we have done and what I teach, when I train and what I stand by, especially with my team and, agents that I work with, and I love working with Brett and Ty, is just simply that we want to make sure that agents are taking care of their clients and they're providing clients with information that they wouldn't know. And so I feel like when people buy a home, they trust the home inspector, they trust the agent, they trust, the seller's disclosure, all of these things. And a lot of times people are accurate, but it's just like anything else that we're putting normal wear and tear on. Things break down, things happen. That property I talked about in the beginning, the second day, the buyer owned the property, the whole HVAC system goes out. I could not have prevented that or known about it.
You don't
the
have crystal
inspection was
balls.
clear. Yeah. So, I think it's just really great to provide that type of peace of mind. And I know that Ty and Brett, you guys pride yourself on that. We really want listeners to connect with Ty and Brett. They can obviously connect you with Kelly. Anyone today looking to sell or buy a home, we hope that you consider LPT Realty because we do absolutely provide the best service. And I want to thank Brett, Ty, and Kelly for being here today. I always say that it was my favorite show or it was my best show. Today is probably one of the most informative shows that I have done and provided to the listeners out there. And so I appreciate all of our fans, all of our listeners. Brett Lindbeck.
Yeah.
You focus on what area?
South Tampa. I'm from Lithia, Bloomingdale, Brandon. So
Okay.
I stay over there.
And how would someone get a hold of you? Give me those digits.
Yep. 813-410-1956.
And Mr. Ty, coming from Illinois, knowing all those people over there, really being familiar with second homes, just getting into kind of the investment space, how would someone get a hold of you, man?
Text or call me at 309-532-7932.
I love that Ty still has an Illinois number because I do too. I do have a Google Voice, but I think I'll just be a Midwest girl. I love
That's
Florida.
fair.
I do, but Midwest work ethic, man, it's hard to compete with us, dude. Like
Yeah.
we're the fast and the furious
Hey,
for sure.
stick to your roots. We're glad you're here.
I love Brett. And Miss Kelly, how would someone get a hold of you?
K Baird, and so it's letter K, B like boy, AIRD at CHWPRO.com.
Thanks, Kelly, so much for being here. We appreciate all of our listeners and fans. Download the iHeart Radio app, and we will catch you next week.
Thanks for listening to the Raw and Real of Real Estate podcast, powered by LPT Realty, Real Estate Reimagined. We hope this episode motivated and inspired you. And don't forget to rate and review us. Thanks again for listening to the Raw and Real of Real Estate podcast with Betsy Tinervin.